Hi everyone, I'm Tasha and I will be doing the Aussie Book Tag today. The Aussie Book Tag was created by the lovely and wonderful Knock from Happy Comes First, as well as Julia from Britt Reads. I will leave both their channels / blogs down below along with the questions. I was tagged by Knock. I'm very excited to do this tag. I love the questions, so let's just jump right into it. So starting off with KOALA, a character you want to cuddle all day long, and I'm gonna have to say Wylan from Six of Crows, especially towards the end of Six of Crows when certain things were said and that happened. Also Crooked Kingdom, but a lot more Six of Crows. But just Wylan in general, he is so precious and I want to just cuddle him and hold him all day long. For Vegemite, a book that you love that everyone else hates. For this, I'm going with All the Right Places by Jennifer Niven. I'm aware that this book has its faults and it's not perfect and it romanticizes mental illness. I do understand why people dislike this book, but nonetheless, when I did read it last year, about a year ago, I did really enjoy it, which is why I gave it a high rating. Pretty sure if I would reread it, not that I'm planning on because it was heartbreaking, but I would probably be over-aware of its faults and not enjoy it as much. For SOCCEROOS, you are supposed to pick your favorite fictional squad, and two of these are actually going to be the same that Knock chose, but unintentionally. Like, I heard the question before she answered it herself, and I immediately thought of those two. Those would be 1, the Six of Crows squad, and 2, the Foxwell Court squad, and then also the Raven Cycle / Raven Boys squad. For the Southern Cross, you are supposed to pick your most recent 5-star read. That will be Crooked Kingdom for me. I just finished this a few days ago. Well, almost a week. Haven't finished anything else since then, but this was a solid 5-star read for me. For Patriotism, you are supposed to pick a favorite book from an author from your country. I live in Germany. I don't really read any books from German authors anymore. I just prefer reading in English. But someone I read a few books way back when I still read in German is Jana Frey, and my favorite book by her is Der verlorene Blick. The German title, it would translate into The Lost Sight, and it's about a girl that loses her sight in a car accident, and we follow her as she tries to adjust back into her life, but being blind, and I loved this so much. For ECHIDNA, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, you're supposed to pick a book that you love to look at, but it physically hurts to read. Is that it? Yes. I have 2 answers for this one being The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. This cover is absolutely gorgeous. It has this rose gold foil in the feather, and the story is just as beautiful, but also so heartbreaking. So this hurt to read. And the other book I chose was Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by Jack Thorne. I also really like this cover. I love yellow covers, but there just aren't enough out there. And also underneath the dust jacket is this gold foil thing, but this book was a pain to read. Not the same pain as Ava Lavender. I'm not even going to talk about it, I'm done. For NED KELLY, you're supposed to pick a book that is really grim but an iconic must-read, and for this I'm choosing The Secret History by Donna Tartt. The story gets really dark at parts, but it was so fantastic. For The Great Barrier Reef, you're supposed to pick a book that had you gaping in awe. Again, I have 2 answers because I can't just choose one. Always have to break the rules. The first one is Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. The reason this had me gaping in awe is because there were so many twists and turns and so much deceiving and scheming. I don't know how Leigh Bardugo did it, but this was just fantastic. And another book is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. Now, I did really enjoy this book, but the reason why this copy in particular had me gaping in awe is that it is a signed copy, personalized by Samantha Shannon, and this was a gift from Anais from Clockwork Kitten. Yeah, this definitely had me gaping in awe. For Pavlova, you are supposed to pick a light and fluffy book that you can't help but love. I just talked about breaking the rules and picking multiple books for one question. I have 4 for this one. I have To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon, Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and Night Owls by Jen Bennett. All contemporaries. I just love them all so much. And lastly, for Milo, pick a genre or author you reach for to get you out of a reading slump. And for me, that would be the new adult genre. I love reading fantasy, but everything in fantasy can be very overwhelming if you're in a reading slump. And new adult is usually in our world, just everyday settings like college. They're just really easy to read and quick to get through. Those are usually the kind of books that I reach for when I'm in a reading slump. So that was the Aussie Book Tag. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thank you again to Nock for tagging me. I will tag some people down below in the description box and also on Twitter. That was it for this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!